Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Local Influencers Podcast. Today, I am joined by two lovely guests that I am so excited to talk about because they own and run Loli's Streatery, not Treatery, Streatery, and it is a Tex Mex Cuisine, kind of like they describe it with a creative twist on their Instagram bio, food truck. And so, ladies, why don't you introduce yourselves to our listeners today? And welcome.
I'm I'm Sarah. Sarah Flores. We own Loli Streatery.
And I'm Sabrina Lozano.
We're sisters.
Sisters.
Yeah. Sister power. Sister Latina power in the house and X power in the house. So
Yes.
I was telling Sarah before we started recording, I saw their application again, the podcast, and it was like very empowering. It was like Mexican women owned. I'm like, yes, man, we're getting them on. I was like, yes, we're getting them on. That's all you got to say. So
highlight that. Like, we are two like Mexican women, young women who are like trying to build this brand, trying to work our way up. So we try and like embody that we're like Mexican women.
Yeah, you have to, I think, empower, others. And so that's what I'm excited to get into today. So let's start off with your brand name, business name, Loli Streatery. How did y'all come up with that? And it's funny because Streatery is like street, but it's the word eat inside of it. It's very, I love it, by the way. Like, I love the branding. I love the name. Very catchy, very like tongue in cheek. How did y'all come up with that?
Well, the streetery part kind of just came from like putting the words eatery and street. Like we like to say it's a little confusing to some people sometimes because they're like streetery, and I'm like, it's an eatery on the street.
But if you get it, you're like, oh yeah, like that's actually really smart and really clever.
Yeah.
And Loli's is named after our grandmother. Her name was Elisa, but we called her Grandma Loli. And she was just a huge, major impact influencer on our lives. She was a baker. Her thing was baking, but she was always in the kitchen. And that's just one thing that we remember about her. So Loli's is like a really cool name too. Mm-hmm. So we kind of just put them together. At first, we were just going to name it Loli's, but she found the word Streatery, and so it just works.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Like, I got it right away. I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
And like, I got it. And so how did you guys, so you came up with the brand name or whatever, and that probably came after the idea for the business. How did you two come up with this idea for a food truck? And you're like, you know what, let's get into this, because a lot of people are, whenever they have an idea, they're afraid to kind of go after their dreams. And I've said it a million times on this podcast. If you want to do something and you're afraid to do it, you're heading in the right direction. And so people a lot of times have this idea like, I want to start this business, but I can't do it because of X, Y, and Z. What made y'all just pull the trigger and be like, you know what, let's do this? And why did y'all specifically get into the food truck industry?
It kind of just happened that we were both looking for really like investment opportunities at the time, and we kind of had different ideas. I mean, I think both of us were kind of like at a little bit of a crossroads in our life. Like for me, I had just lost my jobs because of COVID. I was out living in Orlando. So I came back here and I was in school, and I needed something that was mine. I think we both just kind of wanted something for us that we could do. And the idea for the food truck really started as kind of like just an investment thing, which then turned into, hey, I really like food. Like, I know how to cook. Like, Sabrina knows how to cook. Like, we are so passionate about food. Like, it's a big part of our lives. Like, let's make some food. Like, let's just go for it. And I don't know if we realized like how much work it was going to be and like the start of it, but
yeah, we didn't even know what we were going to do. I am a travel nurse. And so I was working in a COVID ICU in San Antonio. And my dad has also like been trying to kind of get us to do something else, like a side hustle type thing. But this isn't a side hustle for us. This is like our baby. So he sent us a picture of like a lime green food truck that sold like turkey legs and funnel cakes and just Frito pies. And he was like, why don't y'all just, invest in this and do something with it? And I was like, that would be pretty cool. But we didn't realize like how into it we were going to get. And so we just like went for it and kind of just got really creative with things, and we take pride in a lot of our stuff. So that's how it came about.
That's awesome. It's like you guys going through COVID. It's weird because I think I started this podcast in, I don't know, late 2019, early 2020, and I actually had COVID in the middle of, like, at the end of my first season. I was actually hospitalized for COVID, and
Wow.
I was like a hustler. I was like in the hospital, and I was like, my mom, my parent, it was like, at this time it was COVID just started. Nobody knew like what to do, what was happening. And my parents, nobody could visit me, but they could like drop off stuff and the nurses would bring it up. And so I was like, the first thing was like not clothes, right? The first thing I told my mom was like, pack my laptop and the charger. And like I had to, like, I was like making posts from like my bed in the hospital, and I was like working, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let this thing beat me. And that's kind of what you guys did. You were like, being a travel nurse and dealing with COVID, and you're still wanting to add a side hustle, and then having to move back home from Orlando, or moving back to Coastal Bend from Orlando because of COVID. Technically, it's like COVID. It's like, not only is it a curse, all of us, but there's always like some kind of blessing at the end of a curse, right? Like, I had COVID, but because of that, like, it actually started my health journey. I got diagnosed with a bunch of things. I just actually weighed myself today. I'm down 48 pounds.
Wow.
And so like, I was having trouble with sleep. I got my sleep under control. I got approved for weight loss surgery. All this good stuff's happening, but it's because of COVID sparked that. And now here you guys are on this journey, and COVID, that this disgusting thing sparked this beautiful Loli Streatery. And so I love that. And so whenever you guys came up, okay, so you're like, okay, we want to do this food truck, right? Your dad's like, hey, get into this business, side hustle. Y'all were like, why not? You come up with a brand name, cool, fun, right? It's exciting. And then you get into it, you're like, oh my, now what? So
exactly.
right, you're like looking at each other like, cool, we have this truck. What do we do? How did you guys narrow down a menu, and how did you narrow down, like, this is what should we offer? Because like you said, there's a lot of those like funnel cake places or desserts or just regular kind of taco trucks, so what made y'all, like, how was that process in developing like a menu and saying, all right, let's like buckle down, this is what we got to do now?
So I am not an advanced cook by any means, but I have ideas. So between like travel jobs, I was trying to find like some sort of investment, because I just didn't want to do traveling forever. Like, it's done so, I'm sure and I'm sure you've heard that, like, this has just done so much for nurses and healthcare workers in general. We're all exhausted and we're all tired, and the pandemic has just put a huge toll like on our mentality. So I would come home and I'd be like, I kind of want to do like a La Paletera type thing, but I want to do corn cups, and I want to do like barbecue corn cups or like Cajun corn cups, but I just didn't know like how to go about it. So this food truck thing just kind of just opened the doors for that. And my thing was like Mexican street corn, but let's put a protein on it, and let's make it a loaded corn cup. You don't see that anywhere. And so with my sister, she's super creative in the kitchen. She can make anything taste amazing. So like, my idea for the corn cup, that was all that I had, my idea. But her idea for like everything else, like, let's do like some sort of sauces, let's do loaded fries, but let's make it fancy and like gourmet. So let's put a twist on it. So that just kind of like that's just kind of how it came about. And when we were looking into the corn cups and like the loaded corn, you don't see them anywhere. You don't see them anywhere. We're like, how can we go about this? How can we make it like a loaded item that's different? And you just don't see it anywhere. So we're like, holy moly, like we have something. Like this is original for us. And sorry.
Oh, we have another guest join us.
He wants to be a part of this.
Oh, we love pets here on the podcast. So
I'm okay.
So I love that. So paired with your sister's ideas, and she said that you can make anything taste good, which I wish, because I can oven really well, I can air fry really well, but I can't cook. I could DoorDash very well. So how she came to you with like the corn cup thing, and you were like, let's do this. Like, how did that come about? How did that process go?
It was so much fun. Like, it was blast to just be like, okay, I can finally be as like creative as I want to. I have this outlet to be able to do that. And like, yeah, let's try these different sauces. Okay, this one didn't come out how we wanted to. Let's try these different ways of roasting corn, because we do roast our corn. It's not like, we just dump it out of the can and call it a day. It's like we were playing with seasonings. We were playing with like spices and stuff. So it was like getting the corn bowl down was the main thing, because when she said it, I was like, that makes so much sense. Like we were looking everywhere to see like, okay, how can we like get inspired by this, like loaded corn bowl or like corn cup with meat, like corn. And to this day, we have not been able to find like a corn cup like loaded. So once we kind of got that down, like we needed to nail that down, that kind of set the tone for the rest of the menu. It's like, okay, we want to do comfort food that like Texans are going to know and love, like fries, nachos, corn, but we're going to put this creative spin on it that is going to have depth. Like it's not just going to be something that we throw together and like call it a day. Like every single ingredient is so thought out, and like it's as scratch made as we can possibly make it. Like we spend so much time just prepping and like getting everything together so that we can get to the point that we sell. So the once we figured out like street corn, everything else like really just lined up so easily. Like it was great. So now we have this like menu where everything all fits together, and we know that like the average Texan will like it, but it's going to be a twist. Like it's going to be different a little bit.
I am literally so hungry, y'all. Like I told you, I'm on this weight loss journey right now because I'm getting ready for surgery, and all I had is a protein shake this morning, and my eggs are being cooked like over there in the kitchen. My mom's cooking me some eggs right now because that's all I can really have, and my mouth is watering. I am like, literally the week before I go for pre-op surgery, I am going to visit y'all and try one of everything on the menu when my doctor allows it. Because I am like, I love a good corn cup, like the regular kind of ones. For if you're in the coastal Bend or Corpus Christi area, like the Trade Center has like the corn cups, but they're just like they're just like your regular schmegular corn cups. But y'all's with like my mouth, I am like so hungry. Like this journey to be a skinty version of myself is very difficult. So y'all are making it harder. I don't know if I love y'all or hate y'all. So with, like you said, when in the beginning, y'all didn't realize how much work that you were gonna have to put into this, right? What are some tips or tricks, and don't give away any family secrets, but what are some tips that you would give someone that wanted to enter their own type of food truck industry business, like whether it's like a dessert food truck or something? What are some things that you would have told yourselves when you first started?
I think it's just to like find your passion and just go for it. Really narrow down what it is exactly that you want to do. For us, it was, do we want to make a quick buck, or do we want to do something that like we're really, really passionate about doing, something that we have pride when we hand out our food? No offense to any of like the regular taco trucks, no offense to any of like a carnival, because we're friends with all these food truck people, regardless of, how different their food is versus how basic their food is. For us, though, it was more of a passion, something that we're passionate about. So I feel like advice that I would give is to just make sure it's something that you really want to do, because it does require a ton of work. There's a lot of passion and hard work behind it, blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's difficult regardless how simple your food is or how many days you prep to do something.
And
difficult.
I think it's also important to like not overload yourself, because it's okay to start off small. Like whenever we started, I think we were just saying yes to everything, which was great. And it was important for us to like be able to build that. I mean, we had the free time, like we just wanted to like say yes to everything. But at the same time, it was like we have to take about like 2 days to prep just to be able to do 1 day of serving. So like day after day, like, okay, we have an event this day, we have an event this day. Now we've kind of narrowed it down to be like, okay, we're only going to be open like at most 3 days a week. And like, that's good enough for us. And, eventually we want to be more consistent. We want to like have like maybe like 4 or 5 days, but it's okay to start small. Like it's okay, because people still come to our truck. People still consistently will seek us out. Like we'll be over there in Robstown and somebody will come to Robstown, like from Corpus, just like, I saw y'all were gonna be over here, like I drove out here just for y'all, I'm gonna leave now. Like,
yeah,
that's like literally like that's like 6 minutes from my house. So the next time I'm out there, I'm gonna go and like splurge.
Every month.
Yeah. So I love that, and I love that, like, just like you said, you can't don't say it's okay to say no. First of all, you have to learn that. I think a lot of people starting anything, you want to jump at everything, and it's okay to start small. Like social media, I have a very small team right now. It started with just me, and I have a very small team of like 3 or 4 people that help me behind the scenes, and there's times that I have to say like no to podcast interviews because like I don't align with some of their views. Like there's people that want to get on here for religious or political reasons, and I won't allow that, because I am very, very opinionated, although and so I'm like, this is my show, and unfortunately no. Whereas probably season 1 I would have been like, oh yes, I just need guests on, and now I could be more selective and meet people like you two that are like empowering, and no matter your ethnicity, your race, your gender, whatever it is, you can relate to people like you two that are sisters here locally starting a business, whatever kind of business it is. And that's why I'm so selective. So like you said, it's okay to say no. It's okay to start small. Also, like social media, you don't have to be everywhere. Like I love watching TikTok videos. It is my nightly routine to watch TikTok before bed, but I cannot be on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. I can't do all that.
Yeah.
I can barely manage an Instagram because I have 7 or 8 Instagrams I have to manage. Like so
it's hard.
It's hard because like, and let's get into that. Like, so not only do you guys have to prep, y'all have to clean, stay clean, right? You have to do that. Like I'm triggering you right now because you're literally washing dishes for 2 hours.
I was saying because I was doing the dishes.
Yeah, triggered. But we have to talk about marketing. You have to market yourself and your brand, right? And so that's a thing that people don't realize, that's one of the things that's behind the scenes. That's a whole job in itself. Like I have interns that help me with the marketing, because I'm like, I cannot do for 8 podcasts, I have to market all of them. And I'm like, how do I do that? And so how do y'all go about your social media presence? Because a lot of people, especially small business owners that have been in their business for a long time, don't really, or have struggled evolving with the times. And so how have y'all taken on all of your responsibilities that you've already talked about, plus now we're in marketing and branding? How are y'all both involved? Do y'all have help? One of you do it more than how does that work?
At first we had help from our sister. So we have another sister. There's 3. And at first we were getting out there, and she was like doing a lot of the marketing. She would do like some of our Facebook posts, and she's so good at that stuff. And so we kind of just got used to it. But then she's busy too. Like she has her own life. So eventually we were kind of just like Okay, we did we post on
Gotta
Facebook
buckle
where we're gonna
down.
be today?
Yeah.
Like sometimes like we do all this prep and get ready for this thing that we want a lot of people to come out to, and we're like, wait, did we even post like where we were gonna be? Like it's difficult. Like it's hard to manage because we're so busy, like you said, like with prep and cleanup and just making sure we have everything, the shopping. So it's hard, but we try to stay on top of it. Sometimes we'll have days where like we want to try this item out, or we want to get a good picture of this item because we don't really have a good picture. We want to promote this item. So we'll go out and get all those items, come to my house, do the cooking, put it on a pretty dish, and then just like take a really good picture of it. I'll share it on my Facebook. We have a lot of supportive friends and family who will just go around and share it. So we really just kind of wing it here and there.
Yes.
But we do
Same.
what is find
or Street Food Finder.
Street Food Finder.
Street Food Finder is a blessing. Yeah.
Blessing, yeah.
Because it'll post for it. Like all we have to do is input like where we're going to be, the time, the location, like maybe like a little comment, and at the start of the week it'll post here's where we're going to be this week, and it'll list it, and then the day of they'll like do a little reminder too, so that saves us a lot of trouble. Like we can even go in and like just put a picture on it if we want to. And it's great because I mean all of the food trucks are listed on there, so if you go to Street Food Finder you can see like it just takes your location. It shows like all of the food trucks that are like open around you, so that's been like something that we rely on. But social media is definitely something that like, you know, like you said, it's like, okay, we're doing all these other things and now we got to worry about managing like brands and like networking.
It'll be like 2 hours before something and we're like prepping, like trying to hurry, and I was like, wait, we need to make a post. Like, let me just
it is a struggle.
I feel like our really main market for the most part is like the younger generation, like people like millennials and stuff, and they are very, very into social media. So I mean it's an everyday question. Are you on Instagram? Are you on Instagram? Like, are you on Facebook? Like, so we know we have to like really, really, but what helps is like our food is really pretty. So like
really pleasing. So like a good picture helps.
Good pictures.
We're good. We got business cards, so like we try to just keep them out when any event that we're at. So
the stickers.
We put a little Facebook and Instagram icons on our truck. So
that's a smart thing because
we try to promote like tagging us and like taking a picture of our food and just like leaving a review, because that's sometimes all it takes is just like a picture to go viral. Sometimes it just takes you to go viral on something and you
for the whole thing to blow up.
Yeah, and I was streetfoodfinder.com. I did it, and basically like because I don't allow anything to like locate me. I have to like enter it in manually, and you just put in like your zip code, and like it pulls up like basically for this whole week. Like I see as of recording this, we're recording in the past for our listeners. January, like Tuesday, it shows I'm sorry, Wednesday it shows that you guys on the 26th that you're going to be like 12 miles from me, and then you click on it and it says that you're at the Grow Locals Farmers Market. And so it's like that easy, and then it even shows like photos on there. It shows like, so definitely streetfoodfinder.com.
I took them off.
Okay. So streetfoodfinder.com is like it is very, I didn't even know what this was until you shared with me. So for our listeners that are out there, it tells you like what's open today, where you can like, if you want to, you know what, on Wednesday this week I'm not going to cook, so I'm overbooked that week, this day, like perfect, it shows you everything. So that is awesome.
Instead of like digging through our Facebook to kind of see, like it's posted right there, like we have it at the top of our Facebook and our Instagram, like click on this to find where we're going to be at. So that helps so much.
Yeah, definitely. So we are rounding out to the end of the podcast now, and so now's the time that you can plug your social media. If you have a website, where can people find more about Loli's Streatery?
Facebook and Instagram is our main, mostly Facebook. We do a lot better on Facebook than we do on Instagram. But yes, it's all exactly how you see it on our logo, Loli's Streatery, all one word. Streatery, because it's an eatery on the street. So, you know, that's how we kind of like try to get people to remember it. at Loli Streatery on Instagram. We're working on a Snapchat. We're going to be coming out with a TikTok soon.
We'll eventually be TikTok famous too.
Yes.
So
yes.
Bless your hearts. I refuse. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be hard.
Like a lot of get there.
So I'm a millennial, and Generation Z are like, are you on TikTok? I'm like I know what TikTok is. I know how to watch it. I'm on it, but I'm not on it. You know, like I refuse. Right. And then my media manager is like, you got to be on TikTok. I'm like, okay, girl, if you're gonna run it, that's fine, but I'm not doing it. So.
And then with us on the like, I got a bun right here on the side. Like we're all sweaty, covered in asada. Like so, it's really the food. Like, do not. Last thing we want to be doing is taking a video of ourselves, but we have to do it. We have to do it. We
yes.
Know the people we got.
So we've played Loli Streatery. Again, it's eatery on the street, and I will have the links to their social media in the show notes. So all you'll have to do is wherever you're listening, scroll down and just click on the link, and you can give them a follow. And before we wrap, final question is: what are your top, if you had to say top 3 bestsellers for your food truck?
Definitely our loaded corn bowl. It's our signature item.
Big seller for sure.
Mexican street corn base, choice of protein, 2 homemade sauces, queso fresco, cilantro, and a lime. That is our number 1 seller.
Our sauces are chipotle crema and then an avocado cilantro sauce. We also have a chimichurri. That kind of just rolled out recently.
I should have skipped this question.
Yes. We're about to go eat after this too. So
yeah, shout out to the post. Yeah. But definitely that item.
Probably the Texicana fries are our second bestseller. It's seasoned waffle fries, not just like, little fries, they're waffle fries. So all that queso like drips through. It's got queso blanco on top, a choice of asada chicken or shrimp. We're really like bean stew. Yes. Like, I mean, we spend hours cutting up, marinating, dicing meat. So like it's all like the proteins are great. And then it's got the 2 signature sauces, queso fresco, a lime,
homemade pico de gallo, homemade pico. Well. Yep. The corn bowl you can do asada chicken or shrimp as well. Definitely, I would say the third one would have to be between our tacos. And they're called our street tacos, but STREAT. They're 3 full-size tacos, 1 asada, 1 chicken, 1 shrimp. It comes with purple cabbage for crunch, our 2 signature sauces, queso fresco, cilantro, side of pico de gallo, side of Mexican street corn, and that one's a hit. Yeah. As well as our enchilada nachos. Yeah. And those are fried corn chips with fried flour chips and red enchilada sauce, queso blanco, sauces, everything. All these items come super loaded. They're heavy. Those are like our top hits. Yeah. We can't pick 3. It has to be 4.
Yeah. So we're going to end the podcast now because I am so hungry. God. So definitely, listeners, if you're out there, check out Loli Streatery. Support this small business. Again, Mexican women owned, locally owned. Man, my mouth is like, I don't know if we're friends or enemies right now. So again, if you want to know where they're at and you're not following them on social media, you can go streetfoodfinder.com and it'll have them there. Again, Loli Streatery. And again, thank you both so much for being here today. Thank you for making me starving. I appreciate it. And it was very, very, like, your presence is just like, I know we're Zooming, but I just feel like we would be friends. Like we could be friends. I could just feel it.
Duh.
So definitely, like I said, for our listeners out there, check it out. I will have their links in the show notes. And for everyone listening, wherever you are listening, please head out into your community, make a change, and do something good. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.